I loved everything about the transformation. Like his slow, gradual transformation, the way he kind of loses himself, how the movie shifts between his point of view and the mom's point of view, and how those two, like, the same situation can look completely different depending on whose perspective it is. The wolf vision looked amazing.
When it comes to the story, that's what I was like, that is so amazing. It's just, I don't know if that's been done in other werewolf movies, but if it had,
I'm not sure. This, right?
Yeah.
Another thing that I thought was wonderful was when he's kind of in this in between stage where he's half monster, and so he realizes he's slipping away. It reminded me a little bit of somebody who has like dementia and knows they have dementia and is seeing the signs, and they can't stop it, but they're still there enough to see what's happening. You know what I mean? Like it's a little, like, I'm not saying it's an allegory for that, but it reminded me a little bit of that, and how terrifying that must be when you realize you are disappearing and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, I've seen like movies where somebody becomes a monster, but I don't think I've ever seen like the first person experience of becoming a monster quite this good. In this script, I really felt for the guy, but that was incredibly well done, I thought.
Like, it felt like a step-by-step tutorial in a way on how to become a werewolf, because how he was becoming a werewolf. So it was just so vivid. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just so vividly done. Like, you're right. I don't think I've ever seen a transformation being shown the way that it was shown in this one.
And I think often it's looking at the monster from the outside, and here we were in his head, right? And like, we were up close to him, everything was filtered through his perceptions, and even just like this whole idea of, I'm still here, but I'm disappearing, and like in a few hours I will be gone. But that part, I think, was the best part of the movie. Even his, like, just how he perceives the world is radically different, right? Like, there's a scene where he kind of stumbles into the forest, and we kind of slide into the wolf vision. Yeah. And the forest looks completely different. I think the sounds are completely different. We hear things we didn't hear before. We can actually see, right? It's actually fairly bright. Like, the moonlight is lighting everything up. It's like, it's just a different world and a different perception.
Even the spider scene, that one I really liked as well. That got me by surprise. But it felt like there was a whole monster in that.
I've seen this in other things, like a lot of vampire stories. When somebody is turned into a vampire, they see everything in a very amplified way. Kind of reminded me of that.
I actually really liked the whole idea of some of the mother and the daughter finding it difficult to let him go, despite and like clearly seeing sort of how some of the range he was becoming, and sort of how one having, you know, the evidence of like what he's going to become outside because it's chasing him, and two, just kind of like seeing his behavior and sort of like the way he's going, and even like when he was like gnawing at like the scar in his hand or whatever, changing. But the idea of like, you know, wanting to hold on to family and wanting to find like a cure and like wanting to save him from becoming this, and like that kind of like desperation. I feel like that was, you know, really well done.